Day 29, The Ritual of the Ancient One. We're on the next to last track in our 30-day music writing challenge. This album is about to go live, which is insane, and this little genie lamp is pretty much the most important thing in this series so far. It's only a minor exaggeration. I feel like the protagonist is probably a pretty important part of this series. But I really wanted to capture something a bit more tribal to really kind of tie in the first part of the album into this latter half of the album, especially when we get into track 30, and you'll understand why a little bit more. But track 29 is it features the erhu again. I think that's how you say it, ihu. I don't know. It's the Chinese fiddle, and there's a few organic instruments as well that we've kind of sprinkled throughout this entire album. But it's not a super complex track, but it is kind of a driving track, very drum heavy and very tribal. And so it has a little bit of the desert vibe, a little bit of the woodsy vibe that we had, kind of mashed together as we reach this precipice of some kind of ritual that this wise man is performing to show you your destiny or show you home or whatever it is that we are trying to find. So I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a moment. But for now, let's flip over and listen to track 29. And that's track 29. So, the interesting thing about track 29 is I wanted to incorporate this genie lamp into the mix. I was messing around one day and saw this genie lamp up on my shelf. This is one of my prized possessions. I know it sounds really weird, but it was given to me by someone a very long time ago. and I have held on to it since third grade. It was one of my favorite teachers. She gave it to me, and I've always held on to it. I don't know why. I always liked it, and it's been a staple in my decor ever since then. Well, I saw it. I was sitting there looking at it, and I thought, I wonder if that could be used to play music. If you follow me on TikTok, you probably saw this video or a couple of them. And so I pulled it out, I took it, and I was thinking to myself, how could this be incorporated into music? Well, I thought, well, there's an opening here and here. I wonder if this could be used as an ocarina. So I tried to blow on it, didn't work too good. So I took this straw, I lined the straw up with the hole and blew, and it kind of sounded like this. And so I was like, hey, you can actually make a couple notes, about 3 different pitches with this. So you actually hear this being played. It's not an ocarina in the background. That is actually this genie lamp making the ooh sound in the background throughout this entire track. Also, I took the little metal piece and used it and kind of did that tinging sound that is also heard throughout the entire track as a bit of a rhythm piece. So I used this little genie lamp for 2 instruments in this track, and I really like the way they blended together with it. I really also liked the idea of using an ocarina-like instrument, because basically this is a vessel flute. It is an ocarina, basically. That's not what it's supposed to be, but that's what it's being played as, or a zun, as some people call them, X-U-N, which is an open-mouthed ocarina. There's no actual fipple, which is what the little hole is back here, the little ramp. There's none of that. It's just an open mouth vessel, kind of similar to a jug. It's all a type of zun, X-U-N. So it's basically like a primitive Chinese ocarina. And I really want to incorporate that. I also really like the idea of having a genie lamp as the final ocarina sound, because I feel like that's almost like magical or whimsical. This is supposed to be a ritualistic sound, almost as if like, hey, I'm showing you the way kind of thing. And of course the illusion, not that this is part of the story necessarily, but it's like granting the final wish, which is to find the answer to how and why we are on this journey to begin with. So those are the big reasons I use this. That's the main key point of this entire song, is just summing up this journey. And it's this ritual that is supposed to enlighten you to why you were on the journey in the first place. It is almost like an act of showmanship to help you go into the mental state to realize how you got on this journey and what your destination is, what home is for you. And so that was the biggest thing with that. I really want to just kind of highlight this genie lamp that played 2 instruments, very unique, very different to me. And I was really happy that I was able to incorporate it in such a way, especially using it twice. And I thought it added this an interesting restriction, because it can only play so many notes. So it added a restriction, and sometimes adding restrictions to music is actually a beautiful thing, because it makes you more creative within the confines of what you have. And so by doing so, you actually are able to create more unique sounds, more new sounds, or something that sounds different, because you have given yourself a restriction on what you can use. And that was most certainly what this guy was in this track. So put the lid back on, don't want to let any genies out of the bottle. And with that, let's go ahead and flip over here. If you haven't done so far, I'd love if you'd subscribe to this channel. Tomorrow is the very last day on this journey. Tomorrow we find out the answer to how we got on this place, on this journey to begin with, and where we are headed. And I'm really excited to share that with you. So let me know what you think about this track in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final day on 30 Thoughts Till Dawn.